What is relational presenting? Is that the way you call it?
It's called relational presence.
Okay.
And this, it's in the word. Yeah? Relational, it's all about when you are speaking, it's about the relationship first.
Okay.
And then presence, it's about being right here, right now.
Yeah.
Give the people a gift when you give a presentation. Give a very high value to the relationship between me and the audience. Even so much that the relationship comes first before the content. Obviously, then they want to talk to the expert. So if you're speaking, give a gift to your audience. It's not about you. It's not about your ego. It's not about looking great. It's about being valuable to the people. And if
Read the room.
there was a conflict, like the team wanted to do a certain way, and then you had management who says like, these are the rules. That is, if it's fear, it will paralyze you, or at least it will take up space in your mind. If you can be on a stage and you let something touch you, you tell a story about something that happened to yourself or to someone, and you let it come in.
Many times when you're in an audience and you see someone on the stage or in a boardroom listening to his or her presentation, you get enormously frustrated.
So my frustration comes in part because it's not that hard to change it, actually.
We met somewhere in 2014, 2015 at
Yes.
Toastmasters. I think it was in Brussels, if I remember correctly.
Toastmasters at Tomium. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the club where I was a member at that time. And you guys, you were visiting.
It's actually great. We met at that place because everything that you do right now, over a decade later, is all about presentation,
Yes.
posture, connecting with your audience, how to come across authentically.
Absolutely.
And I think our viewer or the ones that are watching this podcast know Toastmasters. It's been around for decades.
It's a very old organization already, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when it started, but
No, me neither. But
maybe it's like the 30s even or something.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be.
Almost a century.
So I know that when we met again, I think it was about a year ago, it was in a meeting. And
meeting,
we were sitting beside each other, and there was like something going on. Yeah. You leaned over and you said, read the room.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, that was interesting. So basically it was a team of people, and then there was higher level management was coming in, and there was a conflict, like the team wanted to do a certain way, and then you had management who says like, these are the rules. And I was sitting there and I was like, wait, so I see what the team wants, I see the rules from the management, and there's actually, for me, it was clear, a way where everybody gets what they want, no rules are broken, and the team gets what they want. And all the management level did was, no, these are the rules. And the management just kept on going, and everybody else was like, no, we don't want to do this, we want it different, we want it our way. And there was a clear compromise there. And that's where I was like, read the room.
Yeah.
Like, you're just pushing. What do you win with just pushing people over? Nothing. You get long-term resentment, and whatever bad things can happen. The team might leave. I mean, whatever. So it was very strange to see. And from the perspective of listening to people and just, try to see what's real, what's happening. That was a very interesting meeting. I also gave the feedback later to the management person, because I wasn't part of the team. I was a little bit an outsider.
Yeah, sure. The thing is, and that's the reason why I wanted to start with this, is that we were with a couple of people there, and some of them heard it. And the ones that didn't hear it right there and then, we told them afterwards. And you know, that one sentence, read the room, became quite epic.
I've heard it afterwards several times from you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's not, and I'm not talking about management here, but I'm talking about the team there at that time just embraced you so much with open arms. It's because the way you connect with people, the way you can read them, the way you can feel them, and there are not a lot of people out there, men and women, that have that awareness.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's the reason that I wanted you so much. And thank you for being here on this podcast, because the value you can add to a lot of people out there, whether they're entrepreneurs in various sectors, or whether it's high level management, even CEOs of companies, people can learn from you. I also know that many times when you're in an audience and you see someone on the stage or in a boardroom listening to his or her presentation, you get enormously frustrated.
Yes, I can get quite frustrated. So my frustration comes in part because it's not that hard to change it, actually. But what I see is when people are speaking to other people, when they're trying to bring a message, when they're trying to communicate, they're presenting, could be a huge room, could be a small team. Most people are still in here. They're in their own head, dealing with, oh, I have to make sure I say this, I have to do this message needs to come across. Or they're focused on their message, or even less useful, they are focused on fear, where like, oh no, am I doing it right? Are they getting it? And it's everything is happening in here. And that's not where the presentation is really happening. And there's a quote that I gladly borrow from Prezi, the presentation tool. It's turn your presentations into conversations. And that's how I see a presentation. Every presentation, one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-five, 100, 1,000. It's not a speech, it's not a presentation. I see it as a conversation. It's just with multiple people. But the essence of it should always be, it's me here, it's you there, and we have to do this together. Mm-hmm. And if that's where you can focus on, then you're automatically reading the room. Then you are with the other person, you are empathic, you are considering, okay, not just am I doing it right, but it's more about, is this landing how it needs to, and is it also benefiting the other side? Are we creating a win-win situation with this presentation conversation that we're having? Okay, I have a message, I have a goal, and I'm here with a certain thing that I want to present, but I'm first going to focus on this, on the relationship, making sure I see you, being happy for you to see me, not just one person, but even if it's 1,000 people, okay, you can see me. Okay, 1,000 people watching, stress levels go up. We are humans, we are biological entities, so it happens. But if you then say, okay, there is stress, I'm not going to try and fight it. Good luck, never works. No. I'm going to focus on you, on the connection. I'm going to focus, dare I say, on loving them in a professional, human-to-human way. And just like being connected to the people. And if you focus on that, which is what we haven't learned, most of us haven't. No. I certainly didn't learn it in the beginning either. I was taught, fortunately, by other people to, oh, wait, wow, this is another way to look at presenting. And if you focus on that connection, you create an entire different dynamic. This is part of my frustration, maybe, is when they spend time on even teaching people, often, in my humble opinion, it's still not exactly in the direction that makes the biggest difference. They're teaching people how to deal with the natural stress that occurs. They're giving them tips, tricks, strategies. Hey, like, we are biological creatures. And if you have 20 people in the same room, we're usually fine. We're used to that being okay. But if they all turn towards us, weep, weep, weep. I mean, major alarms going off in your system.
Yeah,
like,
gremlin.
Yeah, little gremlin, little monster, reptile brain, many words for it. Your system goes in alarm, like, danger, danger. And then, okay, how'd you deal with this danger? Okay, prepare very well, which is not a bad idea, but you prepare very well. You make sure you practice 100 times. You make sure you don't look at the people because it's too scary. There's all kinds of strategies that people come up that try to get you to do it better, but none of them are really dealing with the foundation of you still afraid. In my function as helping people with presentations, people often walk up to me and I hear the craziest admissions. People who are doing great presentations. I see them on the stage or in front of a group like, hey, it's good. And then afterwards they come to me and they go like whispering like, I'm very afraid. People who have been for 10 years every week presenting themselves to fellow entrepreneurs. It looks good. And secretly inside, they're still afraid. And that's unfortunate and it's not necessary. But this, I see, if I see how people deal with presentations, there's this natural fear, which is super normal. I have it too. If you don't have it,
no. Something's wrong.
Yeah, wrong. I mean, maybe you're different then you're different than most people, at least. And now you focus on an alternative. And the alternative is this, the human connection. And your brain can only focus on one thing, basically. I mean, your unconscious brain is focusing on a million things. But consciously, you're like, okay, I'm directing my attention to being in connection with you, or am I trying to do a good job in this seat? If I'm focusing on trying to do a good job in this chair now, in this one-on-one conversation, or in a group in front of hundreds of people, then that's what you're doing. And you're not really here. If you're here in the conversation, and it doesn't matter if it's one-on-one or 1 on 100 or 1 on 1,000, I'd love to try 1 on 5,000. If you know an audience, I'm up for it. I want to try it. I've never managed to do that. If you can focus on the interaction and on the connection, the fear, let's call it the little gremlin or the monster on your shoulder, is like, oh, you're focusing on love instead of fear. Okay, I guess I'll just sit on the sideline, stop screaming about I'm going to die, and just be like, okay, well, I'm ready. If you're in danger, I'm here. And sort of that fear sort of it disappears by itself because you're doing something else.
A lot of people experience after like 5 minutes in front of an audience, they calm down and the fear dissipates a little bit. And it's because of that monster on your shoulder that is yapping all the time, sits on the side.
It's going to the side quietly. So there's people who manage to get through the first minutes and then they're doing a lot better. The clue is, how can you do it from the first second? There is a way of very consciously choosing to be there to give, to bring value, to connect. And of course, bring your message, bring your goal, whatever you want to do, but on a foundation of being together, on a foundation of a connection. And that just changes the whole game. It changes the whole being there. It's like nothing can happen. Nothing can go wrong because there is no wrong. There is connection. And in an honest connection, nothing can go wrong.
What I often see, and for me it's very obvious, is that the person in front of you where you are in conversation with, you see that when I'm, for instance, talking, the other person is forming already answers in their head without even listening or hearing what I'm saying or what the other people are saying. And I think that's a pity, because that's also, from my point of view, a lack of connection with the person in front of you. And also, I think when you do that, you're making it about yourself instead of the person in front of you.
If you really listen to what somebody's saying and you hear the whole thing, then you can come up with a far better response. And when I say come up, it's going to come up. Your brain will do it. If you have enough background information, you know your stuff. It's not about some weird exotic thing you know nothing about. But if it's about your thing, if you fully listen, and this is for sales, this is for presenting equally, or even for talking with your child, talking with your spouse, talking with everybody. If you fully take in what is happening and you let it fully land, then your response will be brilliant, or will at least be far higher level than the thing you're already making up, but only half the information. And will probably maybe even alienate the other person because they're like, you only listened to half what I said, didn't you?
Yeah, of course.
And then
Yeah.
and then of course they're doing this thing by themselves, and now you're having now there's two people talking to themselves, and there's also maybe a conversation instead of having the conversation as much as possible. I've worked with Toastmasters. I've been a member of Toastmasters for many years. I've worked with straight line coaching. I've worked with Landmark Worldwide. And then more recently, it's the relational presence group that I'm involved in as a facilitator.
How did you go from being a pretty designer to what you're doing right now? Because it's a huge difference. Well, first of all, maybe just give a little bit of insight what Prezi is for the people that don't know.
Prezi is a presentation tool. It's an alternative to PowerPoint, you could call it, because most people know PowerPoint, use PowerPoint. They have the biggest market share in the world, and Prezi is an alternative. It's been around since 2009, so it's not new. It's been around the block already. And when I discovered them around 2012, I was really like, wow, this is different than PowerPoint. It really gives you the option to tell a great visual story.
Yeah, it's very dynamic.
To zoom into what's important, to come back out, to show the context of your story, go back into another detail. So it's very intuitive. You navigate your information in your presentation in a way that's a lot more easier for your brain to understand. So I loved it when I discovered it. And I was like, okay, this is it. So that I actually used Prezi as an excuse to start as a trainer, to become self-employed.
Yeah, okay. So how did you go then from being a Prezi designer to evolve actually into the relational presence?
Yeah, it was a very natural evolution. So it's personal growth. So you speak in a certain way. You learn, you discover, and then you get feedback from different coaches, from different trainers. You learn from them. And then I found relational presence as the most recent evolution in what I'm doing. And for me, it's been totally foundational now. I see it absolutely as the foundation for a good speech.
What is relational presenting? Is that the way you call it?
It's called relational presence.
Okay.
And it's in the word. Yeah? Relational, it's all about when you are speaking, it's about the relationship first.
Okay.
And then presence, it's about being right here, right now.
Yeah.
So if you are giving your presentation, it's about I'm right here, I'm right now. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not busy with yesterday. I'm right here, right now. I'm present. And I give a very high value to the relationship between me and the audience. Even so much that the relationship comes first before the content. Obviously, the content, my presentation or the story you want to tell, the goal you want to reach, it's very important. But it comes just a little bit after the actual relationship. Because we believe that if the relationship is strong, there is goodwill. People are open to actually really listen to the story. If you are coming into a room and you have a bunch of slides and you fire up the PowerPoint, let's go everybody, and you just start doing the slides, the room is like, okay, what's happening? Who is this person? What's going on? I mean, there's an anecdote I from the very beginning when I started doing this, I think it was 2013. It was a room here in Belgium, 1,000 people in the room, one keynote speaker doing the presentation. For 45 minutes, this person managed to not even look at half the room. 1,000 people, huh? So they're standing on a stage, looking at the slides half the time, and then looking at a part of the audience, ignoring an entire section. And then like this, quite stressed also, had a presentation that was fit for 90 minutes, trying to push it into 40 minutes. Really bad idea always. Please just cut some slides. Don't try to rush through them. But it was, the connection was just not there at all. It was somebody just coming to throw information at us. Yeah. Nothing. That was very interesting to see. The room was full of people that had experience with presenting also, many of them. yeah, Twitter was not looking great at that time for the speaker.
You see it very often, and not even for 1,000 people. I mean, you just go to a meeting or you go to a network event and then you see someone do a presentation, and the first thing they do is they turn around and they look at their slides. If I'm there as a participant, you just lost me, because you know, the slides are not there for you to support you. If you do a presentation, from my point of view, I think you should do the presentation with as less slides as you can. And yeah, try to be present with the people that, you know, are in the room.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a big fan of slides when they're relevant. And you could see there's a scale you could look at. And on the one side, you have scientific presentations. You're presenting a report, test results. You need some numbers. You need a graph. You need to show the evolution. When before we had these numbers and now look at what the graph's doing. Visual support can be really powerful in certain presentations. But that's when you're talking science or project management or reporting. And even then, you have to be careful that your slides don't overload the people. You have to still bring your information step by step by step. But then you move towards more like sales or management, like inspiration. Then less slides, less input, pictures, pictures or a word or a quote, things like that. And if you go to the highest level, CEOs and presidents, for instance,
presidents.
How many really politicians, prime ministers, presidents have also a PowerPoint on the side? They don't. Imagine if they would. How crazy would it be if they would show up and they would be like, yes, hello, welcome everybody. My name is, and then like and today we're going to talk about the purpose of why we are here today. I will talk about the agenda of this I mean, it's crazy. Like you wouldn't, like it makes no sense. So slides have their purpose. It's real estate that you can use. You have it. So if it's relevant, please use it. Amazing visuals can really help. And at the same time, the relationship, this is one-on-one, but it's exactly the same with 1 on 1,000, I would dare to say. There's a logistical difference. Not everybody's going to respond. But the mindset should not be different. Maybe you need to bring a little bit more energy in a bigger room, of course. But the foundational principle, it's still a conversation with humans. And that's what needs to be a priority.
You know, the last decade, the podcast has been around for a long time. But the last decade, it just blew up. And especially in the beginning of Corona, everybody was sitting at home, and then everybody started to realize we need to connect more, because we're sitting inside. And then a lot of people started even more podcasts, and then first it started online, and then afterwards it started video podcast and one-to-one, sometimes 2-to-1 or vice versa. But why do we have podcasts? I mean, we have podcasts, long-form podcasts. I'm not talking about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But
that's called radio.
Yeah, that's called radio, yeah. But why do we have podcasts? Because the need to connect on a deeper and broader level has really gone up so much the last few years. And it's not only the conversation between the two people that are doing the podcast, but the listener and the viewer who watches the podcast. We're all looking for a lot more authenticity. And I think that's a very good thing that we're evolving towards.
I agree. The most popular podcasts in the world are as authentic as they can be.
Yeah.
It's not a show. It's not look at me.
Yeah.
It's not this is how it is.
Yeah.
It's honest conversations between people. And that's what people flock to. That's what people want to see. For instance, let's say I was a political figure and you wanted to grill me in Belgium. That happens on Sunday morning television.
Yeah,
and they have the
that's-
politician there.
Yeah.
And for 6 minutes, they get difficult questions. And for 6 minutes, they talk their way out of it.
Yeah.
Put them there for 2 hours and see how well that goes. What magical politician will survive 2 hours of questions without having to show their real cards?
Yeah. That's a hard one.
And that's an interesting thing that's been happening, where podcasts put somebody on the spot for a long time.
Yeah, 2 hours.
And there's no
an hour
hiding.
and a half. Yeah.
You can't hide for 2
No,
hours.
you can't.
But it's very hard to not be authentic in a long form podcast.
But it's
it
also-
has to be automatic.
It has to be automatic, but it's also it's not only the authenticity, but you see the good, the really great podcast. You see really the connection, and when you not only listen to it, but when you look at them, it's not only very inspirational, but it moves you as a viewer or a listener. And I think that with many conversations that we have, whether it's in our jobs, whether it's as an entrepreneur, whether it's with, let's say, a manager, a CEO, or whether it's with an employee, I think that the connection must be way deeper. Is that something you teach, that you help with, that you coach?
Yeah, the essence of a good presentation is also being a good listener first.
Okay, that's how you start.
Yeah, you want to be in the relationship, and being in a relationship is also all about observing.
Okay.
Like what's going on the other side. Right? It's what this relational presence is about, is put the connection before you put the content in. Make sure you have a connection. Make sure that is working fine. And then you can add something, but all the time while you are adding your content and you're throwing in, and maybe it's a difficult conversation, you keep the focus on the connection first. And as long as you do that, then you can pivot. Then you can see, oh, wait, what do you think about this? Are you okay? Do you agree? Do you not agree? And that's what's missing. I come from the context of a presentation, but in many conversations, it's actually the same. If you're just blah, 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 you're just talking, you just keep sending, and you forget the connection in that conversation, but then you don't see if it's landing. You have no idea. And the person on the other side is just like, okay, I'm being talked at. Instead of I'm having a conversation with someone. In leadership, it's very important to have the same foundational skill of being there, understanding that the connection comes first, and practicing it. And then we work, for instance, we use the eyes as a tool in relational presence to be with the other person. And then fun things start happening, because then you ask people to look into each other's eyes. And then,
Oh, really? You do that?
Yeah. That's part of the training, is make eye contact. It's more interesting than that. It's not just about making eye contact, because I can only do half of that. It's in our language, we say make eye contact, but actually we say we make our eyes available for the other person. As in, my eyes, I offer them to you. I'm open for this connection. I'm willing to accept the other side, to accept your connection. Whether you do or not is up to you. So when the other person reciprocates, then you have connection. And you could say, then there is eye contact. Everybody's their own person. Everybody can choose to connect or not. But if you come in with the intention of, I am going to be open for this connection, at least there's a chance of it happening. But if you don't even come in with, I'm coming here and I'm going to be open for this connection, then you're coming in with something else, which is, I'm coming in with, I have to say this and this and this and this. And by the way, they did this wrong and this is bad and this has to change and this isn't working. And that's how... And the other person is just like...
And very overwhelming.
Yeah, and I'm not saying those things don't need to be said. I'm not against just being nicey nice.
No,
it's not about that.
Conversations needs to be hard.
Absolutely, very difficult conversations need to happen, but maybe they can go a different way if there is a basis of connection, if there is a foundation of being with the other person, having a fundamental human respect for them as a person, even though you have to say something, maybe you have to fire someone, I don't know. Even if you approach it from, we are two people, I'm open to be with you here in this moment where I'm sharing this information. I see you. That's a very different approach than this is what I have to say. Everything will work smoother, will work in your favor more often if people actually feel they are connected to you.
But this is also a empathy thing,
100%.
Yeah.
That's another word for it. You could say empathy.
Yeah.
Just be with the other person. Be willing to be open what is happening on the other side.
Yeah,
be willing to
respect their
see it.
feelings, because we're all about feelings. Empathy is not only, I think, respecting; it's also understanding their feelings. If it's a difficult conversation.
Let those feelings be. The feelings are fine. Okay. It doesn't mean your message needs to change. Like, oh,
No.
you're feeling bad, I'm going to maybe not fire you. Absolutely, that's not what this is about. But you can at least let them be.
Yeah.
And if somebody's having a bad feeling, you can still acknowledge it. Like, I understand this is not nice for you. I can see that you're hurting maybe. Whatever it is, you can still be with the person without having to subtract from the message. But if you bring the message on the foundation of an actual connection, at least there is a human thing happening.
Yeah. Let's talk about presenters with a lot of ego. You see them. You see them coming even before they start speaking. They walk on the stage and I go like, uh-oh, it's one of those. What I see is that they make it about them. And I always go like, oh, God, it's not about you. It's about the people in the room. It's about them, not about you.
Absolutely. I have in my presentation course, somewhere in the beginning, there's a slide and in big letters, it says, you are not important.
We continue. I would like to introduce to you the creative force behind this website. That's Web Hero. They are the team behind my 30 Years of Wisdom website. I've been working with them since 2017. And over the years, I've also referred many of my own clients to Web Hero. And every single one of them was impressed and satisfied with the results. What makes Web Hero really stand out is their unmatched service. They just don't build websites. They truly support entrepreneurs with a level of care that is very rare to find. On top of that, they provide excellent online training in AI, ChatGPT, Google, and other digital tools that help any business stay ahead in a fast-changing world. And here's what I love most. They design websites that put you in control. Update, text, add links, manage newsletters, all without needing a developer on speed dial. True independence for busy entrepreneurs. If you're curious about their work, you can check them out, webhero.be. And if you're thinking about building or upgrading your own website, there's a special link in the description below where you can get a one-time 15% discount on your Web Hero website. Link in the description. Now let's get back to today's conversation.
And then I see what happens. And then I go like, you are not important, and you, and you, and you, and I am not important. Yeah, the message is, if you are in front of a group, it's not about you. It's always has to be about the audience. A good presentation, in my book at least, is the people leave the room better. Somehow their life has had some sort of an improvement, a new insight, a new idea, a skill. In any way, their life is better from your presentation. In Dutch, we have this song, like, we move a rock in the river so that the river goes in a different path. If you can move somebody somehow, just a little bit, at least, then your presentation has made a difference. That's what it's about. If you stand on stage and you're all great and you're doing your gorilla ego thing, but nothing changes, then nothing changes. I mean, and that's what it's about. You want to have something happen with the people.
Impact.
And make some sort of impact. And you can do that sometimes from ego by pushing hard and by convincing. But a great presentation is where it's about the other people. It's where you connect with them and you give them a gift somehow. I have many examples. A negative example is in where I saw a speaker. It was a conference, hundreds of people in the room. He was doing great, I think. I was like, okay, he was an American. He was clearly a professional speaker, as in he's done this many times. I could see like, he's got this, like boom, boom. He's doing it. He's telling a story. He's asking a question. It's like, yeah, good job. And then this American was in Belgium. And in Belgium, we don't laugh with every joke the American says. And that's where I saw him go full ego, as in like, hey, why aren't you guys laughing at my joke? What did you just do? You go from, I'm here to serve you, I'm here to tell you a story, I'm here to inspire you, to like, you guys are wrong and I'm right. And that's where I was like, oh no, what did you do? Like, why? Why would you go there? It's like, we have the right not to think you are funny. I'm sorry, but that's what we do. We don't think so. And good luck in Germany then. That's a prejudice, I know, but Germans themselves will admit it.
Yeah, I've just been in Germany. It's true.
They will make jokes about it themselves also. In Toastmasters in Germany, they joke about it all the time. And yeah, that was ego popping up. And like, I can imagine that guy having quite a strong ego, which is fine, but don't throw it in your presentation. You can be as ego as you want in your life. None of my business. None of my business. But on a stage, it's about bringing us value. And if you then start blaming us for not laughing, I was like, wow, where did that go? And that was unfortunate, because I think he was doing a pretty good job, actually. He was really, at a really good level and very experienced. And that was like, too bad.
That was a pity.
That was, unfortunate.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I have an example of a client of mine. Mm-hmm. He's an interior architect here in Antwerp, a very good one with some nice awards. And he was going on a mission, he was on a trade mission to Japan with retail companies. And they were going to Japan, to Tokyo, and he was also invited. He was not retail himself, but he's a supplier to retail. So they had an interesting group of people they brought together. So they went to Japan, walk around Tokyo, and at the start of the journey, he got 30 minutes to present something. And he was already in his mind on the same path, but the whole idea is let's give them a gift. You could spend 30 minutes pitching your business because he's going on that trip to hopefully get some clients. But the whole idea of his 30 minutes was, let's make the world a better place. In the sense, let's make that little experience of those 4 days in Tokyo, let's make them better. And his whole presentation was all about, okay, here we have this building. This is great because of this and this and this. And this and this and this is what you can do in your retail businesses in Belgium. You can steal from them the idea. So he was giving them gift after gift after gift after gift. When they were walking through Tokyo for the next few days, they could really understand a lot better what they were seeing thanks to him.
He was a CEO, wasn't he?
No, from his own. He was an architect from his own company.
Oh, okay.
So he was an architect, but he was talking to CEOs of large retail companies.
All right.
His whole approach, and we worked on that together, even to make it even more clear, was bring value, period. Give the people a gift when you give a presentation. And miraculously or not, during the rest of that trip, one after another, all those people that were on the trip with him came walking next to him and were like, it's quite interesting when we should have a talk later. I mean, duh. Like, he helped them. He gave them a gift. He made their trip better. They could really see the value of the knowledge that he's an expert at. And they could see it in action, and they were inspired to see it in their own companies. And obviously, then they want to talk to the expert. So if you're speaking, give a gift to your audience. It's not about you. It's not about your ego. It's not about looking great. It's about being valuable to the people. And if that's how you approach presentations, it's just like relational presence. You value the relationship first, and then, I have something to tell you. Yeah, there's no room for ego in presentations.
I have a question. Are women more present in conversations and on the stage than men, or not?
I think both have the same capability.
Yeah, it's not about capability.
So it's not about
No.
but who are doing it naturally.
Yeah. This is not about capability at all.
Yeah, so I have an example of one client who is a woman, and she was sort of like all her life being like, oh, am I allowed to speak? And I'm worried, am I doing a good job? And after I think she did 2 sessions, relational presence. Just
with you.
The intro and then a follow-up session. And now she's at a point like, oh, okay. It's okay to be me on stage. I am okay. I can do this. Let's go.
So speaking on the stage for one-to-many is a skill set that every woman and every man can learn.
100%. It's often a challenge that I get when I want to help people get better at that. It's like they don't believe it's possible. It's normal to be afraid of it. It's a very accepted fear. Like you have these, what are the 10 biggest fears of people? And then somehow public speaking ends at number 1. Honestly, if you give them, they put it over burning alive. Like,
yeah, I know.
that they put it in front of it. Now, of course, if you actually give them the option, they usually, no, it's okay, I'll get on stage.
Yeah.
But
I know.
So
but
it's a bit of a
metaphor.
It's an idea. They think it's so dangerous. And it's normal. It's normalized that to be afraid of public speaking. And maybe that's also a little bit of frustration of mine. Like, it's really not necessary. Everybody, 99%. You have people with issues sometimes, but almost everybody can really get a lot better in public speaking quite easily. You don't have to hire me for 10 years as your coach. Really, you can, but it's really not necessary. It's like you can, with a few simple sessions, you can switch your idea. And that's the foundation of relational presence, where you learn to discover it's okay for me to just be here in front of these people. It's okay to be myself. It's okay to share my truth. With some practice, you can really experience how okay it is to just be yourself. So a relational presence training, the most important thing there is the safety. We get 8 people in a room, and we let them be themselves, and we invite them to share, but in a very safe environment. That's the most important task of the trainer, is to guard the safety in the room. And in that safety, all of a sudden, people can discover, oh, wait, it is okay to just be myself. And it's not rocket science. It's quite simple. It's elegant, beautiful in its simplicity. And that space is available nowhere. It's nowhere. It's not in your professional life. It's not in school. Nowhere do you get the opportunity to really go through the little steps. So it's quite simple. It's elegant, but so foreign to our current world that people don't even believe it's possible.
I think it's really a pity that we don't get more training in school communication.
Oh my, and every high school student, if they would just go through, you got 6 years.
Yeah.
Put 2 days or 1 day in the 4th year, 1 day in the 5th year, 1 day in the 6th year. The entire education system, or sooner, because you can do this with kids.
Yeah, of course.
You can with real smaller children. Why not in elementary school? I know my son is 3 right now. He's got some stuff coming. He's going to be like, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. He's 3. I'm letting him be 3. Totally fine. But I imagine, I don't know exactly. I'll have to see what works and what is relevant without stressing him out too much. But I might invite him when he's 7 to walk through the center of Antwerp and be like, hey, what's this building? Can you tell us all about it? Mm-hmm. And then just have him do a tour in the city, help him prepare, but not at the age of 25.
No.
But no, at the age of, why not 7?
Yeah,
and I honestly, I don't know if that's possible. I don't have a lot of experience with 6-year-olds, but
But 7,
I'm
7,
gonna
8. Yeah.
I'll figure out when it's relevant, and as soon as it's realistic, that's the kind of training. Why not?
Yeah. When I was really young, I think it was about 12. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade, I think. Yeah, I must have been around 12. Well, anyway, I'm dyslexic, you know that. And oh, by the way, I hid that for many years, or tried to hide it when I was younger, that I was dyslexic. So when we had to go in front of the class and do a sort of a presentation, I always tried everything that I could to be sick and not to go.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it. That was the worst thing you could do to me because I was dyslexic. And for me, like preparing a conversation in front of a classroom with all the kids there, and I think you're young enough to know how children are in the school. But later in life, I really pushed myself and allowed myself to grow above the story of being dyslexic, and that's holding me back, to no, I'm dyslexic and it doesn't matter. It's not because I'm dyslexic and I read a little bit slower than most people do that I can't talk. And I think this is an important thing to mention because there are a lot of dyslexic people out there. And we just discussed about, can this is a skill set, can everyone learn? And I think dyslexic people can also be with no problem on the stage.
Absolutely. And so many people have this label.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the bullied kid in high school.
Yeah, me
I
too.
mean, like 100%. Like it only changed around when I was 17 and I switched schools, and then you get in a new group and they see you newly, and then
Yeah.
you get a chance to blossom.
Yeah.
But the label is, yeah, it sticks to you, and you can really relational presence can help you to let that go. Because the trainings are super practical. There's nothing, there's no slides, there's no notes, there's nothing. It's just experience.
Okay. Paul, how does it work? The listener or the viewer wants to hire you, let's say for an in-company training or for a workshop. Explain. How does it work?
Yeah, so trainings is a big part of what I do, and I have a whole range of trainings. If you put everything together, it's like an 8-day course.
Okay.
But the foundation is relational presence. That's where I really think it should start. And that's just a half day, just get introduced to it. And it's a very elegant, simple training. And you get 8 people in a room. And they come out having experienced there is a different way. That's the essence of the basic trainings.
Okay. And is this like just for the CEO of a company that wants to be able to manage a meeting without half your staff falling asleep?
For instance, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, this can be, can I call it the great equalizer? I mean, like relational presence is fundamentally for everybody. It's about what is your current level today and how can we free that up? How can we free yourself a little bit more from whatever's holding you back so that you can speak at a more connected level the next time? So even myself, if colleagues of mine are doing the training, I will happily sit in and do the basics again. Because it's not like, oh, now I know it. It's not about knowing. Relational presence is about how can I be in a room with an audience? How can I be with the group? And there is no ceiling. It's like a mountain with no top. That's very Zen. Like it's a mountain with no top. You can keep improving it. So even if you're at a level like, oh, I'm good, or everybody tells me I'm good, but I'm a little bit concerned anyway, secretly, it's for everybody basically.
Okay.
But CEOs, yes, they can really start influencing their teams more easily.
Okay. Do you do your coaching also online?
No, we don't do it online right now.
No, okay. So
It's
people
live.
can fly in and
It's live. They can fly in. They can fly me out.
yeah.
I can train all over the world. That's
All
fine.
right. All right. Great. Now, I have a totally other question here. You do martial arts. You've been doing that for many years. My question is there a correlation between the martial arts that you do and the relation presence that you do right now? And that because you care so deeply about people and about bringing the best out of them.
Well, there is in martial arts we have a mindset. You want to have a mindset of being present, like being awake. Do not get surprised by somebody jumping you from behind. So be aware of your surroundings, but at the same time, don't suffer from your surroundings. It's a very Buddhistic thing. Like you see the world, but it doesn't have to influence you. Like if you see an enemy, that somebody is being violent, but it's over there in the distance, okay, let them be over there. And I am here. I am awake, but I'm not going to be, oh no, that's not relevant. But if the person is there is a certain distance you determined, you think about it, and at some point, okay, now, now something is happening.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we go and attack immediately, but now we are ready. And still calm. We are ready. Because if you get emotional in that moment, it's the same as somebody's in front of a stage who's emotional. If it's fear, it will paralyze you, or at least it will take up space in your mind. It takes up a certain amount of space, which you don't have to do something else in a fight, or to think about something and to say something clever on the stage. So if you let fear take up a space in your mind, there is less space for something else. It's that simple. It's both in a fight as in when you're speaking in front of an audience. Now, when I switch to audiences, of course, there is room for emotion. If you can get emotional, and I'm feeling it right now even, if you can be on a stage and you let something touch you, you tell a story about something that happened to yourself or to someone, and you let it come in, and you're almost like you're crying almost, that's okay. But then it's something that you're sharing with the audience. Mm-hmm. If it's actual fear, then it's just blocking you. It's standing in the way of being connected with the people. You can have emotions with your audience, but all for the sake of the connection. All because it's something you share. So, and in a fight, of course, you don't need to cry, but but what's important there is don't get emotional in a way that it hinders what needs to be done. And in a presentation, what needs to be done is be valuable to the audience, be with them, be connected.
I knew there was a correlation. Yeah.
And something else, maybe for martial arts, what I noticed by myself, it's just when I'm on stage, I can move. I'm thanks to years of training, I got my body under control, so I can
move,
dance around almost, and I know how to move.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Your tea is incredible.
Thank you.
You know, for the audience, when he comes to me to do a podcast or even, just to chat, he brings his own tea, which is Chinese tea, Japanese?
It's Chinese tea, excuse me.
Excuse
me. No, what I do for many years is Chinese Kung Fu, so traditional Chinese martial arts. And it's not just a school where you go to and train and you go home. It's a lifestyle. So my master is well-versed in many aspects of Chinese culture. He's an expert in that. And so, of course, in martial arts, but very much also in things. He's a modest person. He calls himself a lover of tea, which is at a level I don't know anybody else that reaches that level of appreciation. In Chinese tea, it's as rich as wine.
Mm.
Sometimes people ask me, "Oh, you're drinking tea. What is it? White tea or green tea or black tea?" And then I'm like, it's similar. Like you ask me, "What wine are you drinking? Red, white, or rosé?" And if I say, "Oh, it's red wine," what do you know?
Nothing. There's so many. Oh my God.
And I myself, I know 0 point something percent. Like tea tradition in China is incredibly rich. You could compare it, to make an easy comparison, with the wine culture in Europe. It's so diverse. It's so rich. And so when I drink tea, I prefer to drink the tea that I learned to drink thanks to my Kung Fu master.
If money and time wouldn't be an issue, let's say you wake up in the morning and suddenly you're a multi-millionaire.
So how much are we talking?
Money that you could never spend for the rest of your life.
Well, that's an interesting statement because I think I could spend any amount of money. And I don't mean I would buy just another island or I would buy a Bugatti worth 100 million. What? No, Bugattis are what, 12 million? I have no idea.
I don't know.
But like, if I would never have to worry about paying any bill, like if it's financial freedom, and that can be
freedom.
And that can already be at several millions. It doesn't have to be,
of course.
So let's imagine I win Euro Millions and I get 15,000 euros in my bank account every month, like a repeat thing that. Yeah. So that no worries. Recently, you actually asked me, we were on our way to the Professional Speakers Association meeting in August, and you asked me, we were in the car for an hour anyway, so we're like, so what's your dream? And my dream was quite modest, if I may say. My dream would be focused on Antwerp. It's where I live in Antwerp right now. It would be on my family house, the family legacy, building that into something, which means that I believe right now, if I would have a lot of money available, I would probably do the same thing. I'm in a space in my life right now where I'm like, I'm doing what I love to do. So would I keep giving trainings? Absolutely. Would I spend more time with my son? Also, yes. The essence of what I'm doing would be quite similar. I have a family legacy that I'm living in right now.
Their house is like built in the beginning of the century or something.
No, our house that I live in right now, I am the 5th generation. And my ancestors took their time. My father was 45 when he got me. My grandfather was 45 when he got my father. My great-grandfather was 65 when he got my grandfather and his brothers.
Oh my God!
His wife was 25 years younger. Huh? She was already at the edge of having children.
Yeah, of course.
But so if you go back 5 generations, the ones who built the house, we're talking 1843. That's when our house was built.
1843.
Yeah. So if you have a map of Antwerp, I love that map. It's Le Plan Le Beau, because everything was in French. It's from 1853, the map, and it has Antwerp with all its beautiful fort lines, the canals around Antwerp. Everything is still there. It's amazing. And in the fields outside of Antwerp, because the canals were where the lions are right now, is the 15th century border. In the fields outside of Antwerp, that's where on the map you can see our house already. It's not the only house for miles, but the next house is like 200 meters to the left and 100 meters to the right. So countryside around Antwerp, and right now it's in the middle of this. I mean, it's in the city. People from not Antwerp, they say, "Oh, you live in the center of the city." I'm like, nah, the real center is over there, but fine. So it's a legacy that I'm living in right now, and there's a lot of history in that house. And my father and my grandfather and my great-grandfather, they were all some form of scientists. They were doing botany. They were doing insects, birds. So I have a whole collection from before, a historical collection.
What did you study? Because
I am a biologist also by education.
Okay.
So I just followed right into the footsteps, and now I'm doing, for the last 12 years, I've been doing something else. I'm in communication. But we have a history of botany in our house where we have some stuffed animals, some insects, old books also. And so my grandfather's brother, who passed away in the 30s, so he collected old books. So we have some interesting old books at home also. So there's a whole family legacy there. So what I would do with this unlimited amount of money is I would turn the house, I would clean the whole thing up. I would turn the library into a library, because right now it's a bit of a mess with the books. I would turn into a beautiful space where you could have a beautiful table in the middle and somebody could have a boardroom meeting in our library as a space. So I would like to open up the space to the world. Maybe I myself don't live in the house anymore then, but it would be an event space where people can come together. There's the garden space in the city is about 500 square meters. So it's quite big. So you could actually have a wedding party there. It's not ready right now, but that's the future vision. But that vision would require some funding. So that's what we're working towards also. So that whole house project, I wouldn't move to Ibiza. I wouldn't go live in Dubai. I would increase my presence in Antwerp.
And community-wise?
Well, that depends how much money there is for us. But yeah, well, I think there's a lot of value to add. If the question, when people say, "Oh, what would you do with $1 billion?" and then some people say, "Oh, so much money, you could never spend it," and I say, then you don't have enough imagination. Imagine how many lives you can save with $1 billion. I mean, I'm not talking about I want 58 Ferraris. I do not care. I do not have a fancy car. I have a car.
Yeah.
And if you have unlimited funds, I would switch to, okay, are my bills paid? Is my house fixed? The roof is not leaking. It's not leaking right now, but you know what I mean? Just fix what needs to be fixed. And then, okay, what can we contribute? I don't talk to that about people often, but I think about homelessness and I'm like, why?
Yeah, why?
I mean, why are there, I looked it up, it's 2,000 homeless people in Antwerp.
Yeah, about, I think a bit
10%
more.
children. Why?
Every winter, people die in Belgium. They freeze to death because they don't have a roof over their heads.
Landmark education, or Landmark Worldwide that I mentioned earlier, Werner Erhard in the past, he started a project to end world hunger, like an idea whose time has come. And I feel like homelessness in here in Belgium, I would definitely try to okay, what can we fix here? Yeah. And what I do today with my limited means that I have right now is I offer relational presence training for free to social initiatives. For instance, I've done that several times. I'm very open to do that. If I can help, and some of these people are refugees, they barely speak the language. Some people are simply lonely and looking for connection. Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not? I mean, and there is no budget anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, so then if I can do that, I gladly do it. What is possible for me today? If you give me a $1 billion budget, well, let's go.
No homeless people anymore in Antwerp. I think a lot of people would benefit a lot working on their skill set to communicate with other people, to connect with other people on a deeper, broader level.
So there's many shifts coming, and human-to-human communication, well, that's going to be here. And it becomes more and more important. And if you want to stand out, and if you want to lead, if you want to influence people, it's going to be even more important to be able to communicate with other people. And if you want to be ready for tomorrow's career market, your most important skill might turn out to be the social skills.
Yeah.
And that's why I do hope that I can be part of the revolutions, let's say, where at least people can be people together. And that's where relational presence can absolutely help.
Where can they find you, Paul?
They can find me online. I'm on my own. I have my website. I am on LinkedIn. That's the platform where I'm the most active.
Okay. What's the name of your company?
Paul Presents.
Okay. All right. Of course, we're going to put all of his connections in the description below. Paul, thank you.
Thank you
very much to be on 30 Years of Wisdom podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, folks, we've been talking about community. We have been talking about connection. I think it's very important, and I've told this a couple of times, to connect with one another as much as we can, especially with the future ahead of us that we're gonna need to share with artificial intelligence. And I think community is one of the huge ones. So please, we have a Facebook group. Connect there. It's called 30 Years of Wisdom, of course. And I'd love to see you next week on our next podcast.